Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
You're a really dull class.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring.
Biden crime family.
Why, you're getting nervous, man.
How dare you?
And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
You're wrong.
Puerto Rico. I will never apologize for standing up for an LBT. I intend to resign as party leader. LGBTQ2 plus kids' rights.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
As prime minister. The level of admiration I actually have for China.
Oh, son of a...
But he called her a third-rate politician. He said there are communists involved and you guys might like that.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Shut up, silly woman. America will never be a socialist country.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
America was founded on liberty and independence and not government coercion, domination, and control.
To collapse the liberal international order. He is the smartest man I know. You know the thing.
It's the Donald! Oh my God!
No, but I mean, it's not about, I know.
Everybody's always blaming me for everything.
Called the wrap-up smear.
It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk.
Please clap. Come on. Jeb Bush hath demanded it, guys. Come on. Hayden.
Look, you can see me. I'm clapping in front of the camera.
No, you're having a seizure.
The spirit of Jeb Bush was overwhelming him. Ooh. Even Hoosier Daddy's making... Are you doing a Gooch impression or something? That's kind of offensive.
Matthew McConaughey from Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
That's not this. We clap. I do support that though. All right,
so doing the haka.
Okay, that's actually what I thought was happening. I thought something like Samoan or something was happening, or like Attack on Titan or something. You know, I don't. All right.
That's what happens when you strain with a bunch of anime people.
Speaking of anime people, Jessica, pleasure to have you all animated and Hayden all animated and only. She's just jealous that she doesn't have as luscious hair as you do.
I derailed everything already.
Speaking of, how you doing, Magnum? You're right number 2. StreamYard says we're yarded right now, so you're right number 2. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, apparently I'm the cyberpunk shill. According
what?
to Geeks and Gamers, like they refuse to acknowledge this game's greatness.
Oh, Cyberpunk's awesome.
And I keep telling people you need to play the game now. Yes, it was fucking garbage a long time ago, but it's great right now. Jessica. And that's it.
No, it was amazing from day one. How dare you besmirch its janky, broken, good name, Magnum? I can't believe you.
It was janky. It was janky.
You're a fake fan. I love the glitches, honestly. I fucking love them.
Oh yeah, we're like people are like.
I got so many great screenshots of that game. Like I think at one point I had like a vending machine just stuck to me, or no, it was stuck to an NPC, so he's just walking with like a vending machine stuck to him. Me just like under floating cars.
Well, you guys played Skyrim when it came out, right? When it first came out, like holy shit, that game was buggy as fuck.
Oh, Bethesda, yeah. All right,
next, whatever.
We're moving on because we have a lot to get to, and by that I mean I got rid of a bunch of tabs so we can blast through this. We're not even talking about the Europeans; they don't exist. And honestly, I say good riddance. ABF, pleasure having you here, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I allegedly am not able to stream to my YouTube channel currently, but I'm gonna try again tomorrow. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so I was looking for your show the other day. I was like, what the fuck? Where is it?
You have to look on Kick for it now currently. So
Jesus.
Or Twitter?
Yeah.
That's an option.
Twitter. It saves it there, right? You can rewatch stuff on Twitter. I think so. Yeah.
What, did they nuke your channel?
No, they got upset
they droned
that
it.
Yeah. It turns out when you weaponize a little tiny drone the size of a fidget spinner with a little firecracker that goes for people's skulls, YouTube doesn't like it. So,
happy birthday. So honestly, I argue that it was the automated post slammer. It's probably that.
Really, you think? No way.
They didn't want people trying to use it as a sexomatron.
Well, you shouldn't. That's what the video was saying. The EMT guy was saying this is a bad idea.
That was educational.
YouTube?
Well, technically, it was all educational.
It was all. I'm here to provide information for people. What they do with it is on them.
So you're going to stream your normal time Wednesday, right? Just not on YouTube if it doesn't let you?
Well, tomorrow I have 2 streams. I'm going to be covering the PlayStation event as well. That's 5 p.m. Eastern.
Your channel is under attack during the PlayStation stream. Please, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, he's under attack by himself.
So you're allowed to actually stream or what?
No.
No.
You're not.
72-hour ban.
I'm going to go live with whatever tools I have. Magnum is what's going to happen.
Rumble.
And maybe we don't show people how to weaponize AI drones.
I did create a Rumble channel.
This is where Rumble comes in. It's like, yeah, Rumble. And honestly, when I see the fucking views that some people get on Rumble, it's like, oh, that's not bad. You know?
Yeah.
If you got to
widen the net.
It's nice to have an alternative or a safety net, you know. Obviously they cannot compete with YouTube as far as the tech, but they're pretty damn good as far as, you know, safety net, but whatever.
Diversify your bonds. All right. Hayden.
Next, yeah.
He's diversified himself into a separate digital body. How you doing, part-time anime man?
I'm doing good. I made a video the other day about backing a game on Kickstarter, and I know a lot of people don't like that kind of stuff, but it's an indie game. It's being created by one guy who was previous.
This is your intro, not your outro, Hayden.
I just want to say this is the funny thing. I posted it on Twitter because it was close to being fully funded, and literally everybody saw it after it was already funded, and so people were like, "Oh yeah, it just got funded. It's already funded. You made this video." I'm like, "I made the video before." But
accidental clickbait.
Didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great. Don't you love comments? Don't you love reading comments when they say the stupidest, most out of touch things that if they just look like one little place or actually watch the video, they would understand, but instead they're just idiots typing? Yeah.
How dare you?
I love the internet. I love you guys.
How dare you promote a fucking small ass game and it's already funded? How dare you?
Funded after. I'm that guy.
Bastard.
So proud of it. All right, so we got important stuff to talk about. The de-gayification of America. Pete Hegseth orders name of gay rights leader Harvey Milk removed from U.S. Navy ship. Well, they really could have gone a lot harder on that headline because I knew about Harvey Milk from the Sean Penn movie that I never saw because why would I watch gay?
Yeah, I feel like I've known about Harvey Milk for a very long time, and I've talked about him to people, and they didn't believe me that he was a real person that did the heinous things that he did.
Yes, I just learned about his heinous things. So he is on. He was the first gay guy elected in San Francisco or whatever, and then he may have gotten smashinated, and that is sad, and we shouldn't do that. But we also shouldn't put his name on the USNS Harvey Milk.
No.
And that was in 2021. So. Yeah, and then they started playing it in 2026 or 2016 rather, and 1978 first openly gay elected official. Yada yada. Don't care.
Is he a demonic pedophile?
Just wait.
We will talk about the pedophile part after we talk about the demons, a la Nancy Pelosi.
Okay.
So first, the news. The Navy is considered renaming naval ships named for Harriet Tubman. Why are we going to have a warship named after Harriet Tubman? Harvey Milk and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Get the fuck out of here. Are you?
That's so dumb.
Nancy Pelosi. Our military is the most powerful in the world, but this spiteful move does not strengthen our national security or the warrior ethos. How does the Harriet Tubman strengthen it? If it doesn't strengthen it, let's just go and get rid of it. Seems a little divisive. It is a shameful, vindictive erasure of those who fought to break down barriers for all to chase the American dream. I assume that was written by her staffer or ChatGPT. All right, so blah, blah. How exactly does this make our warfighters any safer? Harvey Milk was a pedo. This is the right thing to do. Oh, well, maybe Mary Rice Hassan doesn't know what. As I point out in False Flag, Harvey Milk had underage. He doesn't deserve any honors anywhere ever. So I knew about the gay rights icon, and I mean.
Oh wait, so the movie wasn't actually true to what happened?
I don't know. Haven't seen it. Why would I? So not all, but. Well, every single time.
Well, gamer word, Sean Penn. Gamer word.
Sean Penn.
Gamer word.
The fact that he played him seems extra appropriate now that I know that.
The same guy that went to Commie Land and just was like,
probably did some coke with his buddy and Zelensky's tried to keep the war going. He is a big part of going over there. Yeah. All right. So, what do you guys think about taking the gay pederast, I think is the word we need to bring back. Let's bring back some old school slang. Thoughts on removing him from a Navy battleship, ABF?
Let's name the vessel after a warrior, because it's going to be go out and killing people, right? Just a thought. Do we know, is it like a destroyer?
Macho Man Randy Savage. Let's do it.
That's more acceptable, yeah.
I love Macho. That's my favorite.
I'd be more okay with it being the USS Schwarzenegger or something like that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of commies.
Yeah, right. But no, do we know if that was like a destroyer, cruiser, missile boat?
Does it matter?
I'm a nerd. I want to know, but no, you're right.
Have y'all seen the Macho Man Randy Savage South Park episode?
Possibly a picture of it.
That looks like a salvage vessel to me.
Man, I can't believe you're doing this to me. I don't know.
Oh, you don't have to. I can't believe you're doing this. That was just my curiosity.
Do you want to know the Navy Secretary's name is John Phelan? I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't do enough research. Okay, well, here.
Why don't we have those like cool stealth boats from the James Bond? Like they made like 2 of them and then they stopped. Those are so cool. Why can't we have those?
I bet they're probably costing an insane amount of money. All right. So they're like, this is purposely being done at Pride Month. It was intentional to do this for Pride Month. The timing of the announcement was intentional. But the real reason they're doing it is to get it in alignment with President and the Secretary of Defense's objectives and priorities of reestablishing the warrior culture, USNS, the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. How about we actually build a battleship again for the first time in a long-ass time and call it the USS Trump?
Yeah. The USS China is asshole.
But we do have a history of naming ships after presidents.
Yeah.
So that would be really cool. Maybe put a railgun on it.
Also states. Named a lot of after states.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm not here to talk about my transition. I'm just here to kick some fucking ass.
Thank you, Macho Man Magnum Savage. All right. So one last Magnum, you thought the gay was over. It's not, but technically it is because we got it out of the Kennedy Center and they do a sellout showing of the King of Kings after they canceled all of the Pride Month stuff. So I knew that they canceled the Pride Month stuff, but I didn't realize that they were going to cancel the gay and replace it with Jesus. They replaced it. They prayed the gay away. Yes. Thoughts? Anyone have thoughts on that? Imagine Isaac would be happy to see that.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's fine. That's perfect. We're moving. It's a step in the right direction.
All right. ABF sent this to me. AI videos are going to be
1999 movie.
They're going to be out of control.
I totally did watch this like 17 times, by the way.
You know the mysterious hijacker passport that was found in the rubble of 9/11? Well, this is the story of that passport. And
this is the recovered footage of it happening. Look at that. It fell on the sidewalk perfectly. They brought it straight to the FBI.
Oh no!
And then they make a soldier out of the indestructible
Captain
passport.
Trash America?
Yeah. That's my favorite part is that woman's like,
man.
oh, we've recovered the indestructible passport. Here it is.
Yeah, there he is.
Passport
man.
The plane and I caught it.
Directed by Michael Bay.
Yes, and you would think, oh, that's the only political AI story we saw. Nah, a minute and 41 seconds of the story of Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton.
No, that actually looks like Monica Lewinsky.
Oh wait, did you guys not see this?
I have not seen this,
bro. I haven't either.
I'm very scared.
I'm sure
I want to see
that first scene. I was like, "That's Monica Lewinsky." Oh no!
ABF, I'm throwing in private chat.
All right, I got it.
I mean, the demand is high, so we'll go ahead and watch all of this. It's really long, so we'll just watch a bit of it. But man, AI videos, bro, prepare yourself. We're going to get a lot of them. All right, roll the clip.
A young woman casually lifted her shirt, showing off her brand new pink underwear. The president happened to witness it while passing by. He cracked a mysterious smile. That single flirtatious gesture was all it took for Monica Lewinsky to be transferred to the Oval Office the next day. She was appointed as President Clinton's personal assistant. In November 1995, Monica began her White House internship, working in the West Wing. This gave her close access to the president. From the moment she first saw him, she was drawn to this charismatic 49-year-old man. And the president certainly noticed the bright and energetic young intern. At first, Monica was assigned to answer phones for the chief of staff. But she wasn't satisfied with the role.
Right. So that one is not quite as good as the passport one, but that's just to show what crazy people on the internet are creating with AI. Magnum.
I discovered Grok.
You don't have legs.
Grok the other day, and I just went through a fucking gauntlet of
Magnum, I really appreciate you warning me that I was about to get a shit ton of notifications because I was just able to leave the DMs open while he sent me 8 AI Trump photos. I like the one Trump and the Cthulhu monster / Kraken, but I think I had to go with the peanut with the I just noticed third ear in this area.
This is a real picture, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course
Thank you.
It wasn't Grok.
Trump is actually just an upper torso that is surgically grafted onto the back of a squirrel.
No, I think Peanut has space for his legs to go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is he like standing on the tail?
It's fucking funny as fuck. I'm sorry. The one with where he's riding a whale is pretty funny. That's a good one.
It was difficult to choose for sure. All right, so all right. This is how you deal with fake news. The Washington Post runs an embarrassing headline. So the press secretary says, "Hey, everyone in the press pool, let's look at this fake news headline. The Washington Post, the mysterious drop in fentanyl seizures on the U.S.-Mexico border. Mysterious. The reasons behind this decrease in the U.S. and along the Mexico borders are complex."
It's almost like we fucking shut it.
I don't know that.
Crazy.
That sounds dumb. I don't believe you.
Talk.
ABF, do you have any theories on this mystery?
Maybe it was Trump's negotiation with China to stop sending it in and not the border?
No. Tariffs are bad.
That's too far-fetched, yeah.
Magnum, do you have any theories on why stopping the inflow of fentanyl into the country would mysteriously stop the inflow of fentanyl into the country?
Yeah, so if you cross this border and we shoot you in the face, you don't cross the border. You don't cross the border.
Yeah, we're not allowed. We're not allowed to talk about that. Definitely not with drones.
You cross the border.
Bodies and fentanyl have just been piling up outside of the U.S. border, and we can't explain why.
And millions of Americans are not dying from fentanyl now.
Wait, ABF, Can I even share your memes? I worry. How other countries think ABF eats breakfast. How ABF actually eats breakfast. No, don't demonetize me. No, please. I want to keep streaming, please.
I had both my backs out. Got my A1 and the 11.
Any excuse to whip them out is a good excuse.
Yeah.
Dude, what the hell?
I mean, like, you pay for them, you have them. Like, what's the point of that if you ain't gonna use them? You know, show them off, make them look.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Something happened to my fucking webcam. I'm gonna come back.
I'll allow it. So, some of the youths these days, they like to be really gay and take their social media pictures of their food. So if you're gonna do that, you gotta put some high tea in there to offset the gayness of taking a photo of your food.
Yeah, I have one problem with that picture.
What's that?
Not enough bacon.
Well, I keep telling people that I cooked the eggs in the bacon grease.
No, that's great, but you need at least like 6 strips of bacon.
All right, at least 6. I say it's at least 4. I think it'd be a little more reasonable.
I don't have the metabolism of a Greek god, so I can't do that. So
and that's me like squeezing all the grease out the best I can because I also am an old now.
But on the flip side of that, if you're ever taking pictures of just guns instead of breakfast, you have to get your feet in the picture. That's the meme.
Wait, why? That sounds like some degenerate. That's the OnlyFans girls teach you that one.
It's always a meme that people's feet are in their gun picture, and people will try to make their feet look as gross as possible when they do it too, which makes it even funnier. Yeah, it's a gun like meme culture thing.
It's funny you say that.
Oh wait, that's what the gun guys do. Is they purposely take disgusting. You guys are weird. What were you saying?
Yeah, we are weird.
So earlier, I actually took a picture of something on the table, like a ticket to send to my boss, and I noticed that in the bottom of the picture were my work boots. I think you just accidentally catch your feet in the pictures a lot of the time.
Well, yeah, that's part of the joke. Yeah,
I looked back through my pictures of like sending my boss like different tickets and things after I noticed that. In every fucking one of them, you can see my boots peeking out of the bottom of the picture.
So how do you guys feel about women with bad feet?
I hate feet, period.
I did not know where you're going with that. And we are going to my next tab instead, Magnum. Which I'm going
gladly allow you to proceed.
And ABF, man, I don't think I'm going to show this tab because there's a bunch of footage of the drones destroying nuclear bombers. And I realized they kind of remind me of video you played yesterday. So, all right, footage of the drone assault is being shared online. So, Shmoo Shmain released a lot of brones. And the
bronies, we'll call them bronies.
The bronies traveled deep into Brony Russia. And we're talking to the other fucking coast to blow up nuclear bombers that are part of the nuclear triad, which this is all like stuff we figured out with the whole nuclear doctrine stuff we had back in the Cold War. You have your nuclear triad, which is the ICBMs, the bombers, and the subs. And you have those to make sure you can deliver your nukes so you have mutually assured destruction. So to purposely attack one of those is the most far more provocative than the Cuban Missile Crisis.
So the European Union is purposely trying to start World War III, is what you're saying?
It is. We've been poking the bear, and we literally just stabbed the bear. We want them to retaliate so we can say, no one did anything to them, and they just suddenly did this, so we can start World War III now, and holy... Yeah. We talked about World War III last week, and I was hoping we wouldn't have to mention it all this week, but holy crap, they escalated it so hard.
My theory is before the EU gets taken down by Trump, they're going to start World War III on purpose.
Well, that's the hope, and then the economy as well, which we'll be discussing here briefly. And then
real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Weren't these plans held from the United States also?
So that's what we'll be discussing here in a moment. So let's discuss what happened with the plan. Oh, no. I appreciate the transition. So they had prefab houses that were like, I guess, on like semi. So like when you see the like nice trailers being driven down like the highway or whatever, something along those lines. And then Allegedly, the roofs just went back, and then drone swarms, AI drone swarms, the largest ever. We've entered the next generation of warfare, like officially. Now.
We're using houses as launching zones. Like,
And they snuck it into the country. Also, this brings up the fact that our open borders and whatnot, every single enemy of the United States has this sort of operation set up. And then Russia, like the amount of suitcase nukes and such that are probably like dirty bombs that are probably in this country is incredible and done to us on purpose. And
we basically smuggled Terminators into the country.
Yes. And then that's the whole thing is they plan it for a year allegedly. And America didn't know about it.
So riddle me this. How the fuck did China map out the entire United States with their
because they buy property right next to U.S. air bases. Because
but how do they do it without any repercussions?
Because we don't fucking punish anybody for anything.
They fly balloons over our entire country, dude.
Yeah.
B-Man, thankfully, B-Man, you probably did not fund it.
Chinese operating.
We all funded it, sadly.
Our entire government are fucking traitors.
Thoughts and prayers.
And what happens to traitors and back in the day is
we can't say that on YouTube. Be careful.
Do you know what this reminds me of, though? Remember when a whole bunch of pagers went to, was it Pakistan? And they had little payload explosives inside of them?
Yep.
Yeah.
And everybody got their leg/dick blown off?
If you put that on a sign in the UK and show it to some people who are pro Hezbollah, they will arrest you for it because it's inflammatory to the pro terrorists. I think we covered that like 2 weeks ago. And then also, if Hayden, you may have seen it, the new Asmongold clip of Hassan. He was on with some Queers for Pride Month on some Twitch stream, and the gay with the big pride flag laid out says, what's your favorite flag? What do you think Hassan's favorite flag is?
Yeah, does anybody want to guess? Because I know what it is.
I didn't see the clip, so tell me.
Hezbollah.
Oh my god!
Because it's got an AK on it, bro. And then obviously the editor for Asmongold is, hey Grok, what does Hezbollah think of the LGBTQ element OPs? Turns out they don't like them.
You know what's funny is that the AK shows up on a lot of countries' flags.
Well, it does, but it's because Russia.
Well, they're Biden
and proxy wars, and they gave them to a lot of people that didn't like the United States and the West, and they just kind of gave them away for a long time. So they're in a lot of countries now.
Yeah, Russia. Yeah, let's not get us wrong. Both sides suck.
True.
Both sides big suck.
Oh,
all right. Some suck a bit less than others.
Corrupt bastard assholes versus another batch of corrupt bastard assholes.
Yeah, but it is really weird that in 2025 you can look at a lot of the countries that like Russia, was on the side of, and a lot of the countries that we were on the side of, and go, wait, were we the baddies?
NATO in this situation currently they definitely should be asking themselves that.
Well,
we have our part to play. Yes, Magnum?
Africa. It's just they're a bunch of victims because we victimized them, blah blah blah. Like, no, they're all slaves before they sold them to us.
Okay, back to Shmooshmain. Okay, crazy Uncle Magnum. All right. So we're supposed to believe that no one in the sprawling U.S. intel apparatus, which plays a granular and intricate role in the war effort, ever received any notification of this? Because Axios is trying to tell us they did not notify the Trump admin of the attack in advance. Just literally stabbing the bear, attacking someone's part of their nuclear arsenal, essentially. And who was there the day or two before? Mike Pompeo and Lindsey Graham. I have a feeling some politicians knew that this was coming, allegedly. And I fully support it, YouTube, 100%. I love my tax dollars being spent on it. It's great. I prefer peace. No, I can't even say that. I hate peace. Yes, there we go. I think I'm allowed to say that. Okay, so, God, we have so many tabs, and we are 30 minutes in. Like the stream. Appreciate you all so much. I know when I keep seeing BBB, it makes
Better
me
Business Bureau.
It also reminds me of like X. When you think of X, it reminds me of something similar to that. Elon Musk. I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it.
Good for him. Call it out.
I like it, but we'll be discussing, is it as bad as he says? Also, Jake Martin, please forgive me. I totally forgot to read this out. I'm so sorry, Jake Martin, for 20. Tuesday. We sell you the entire seat, but you only need the edge.
Yes, sir.
Have you guys ever been to a monster truck rally?
One time, and it was so much fun. Holy shit.
And
awesome.
loud. Loud.
It's so loud, but it's so worth it.
No,
Yeah,
I mean, like the engines actually rumble for a reason, rather than like people just making their engines loud for no fucking reason, which is retarded.
One of the ones I went to had an a four-wheeler race, and it was scripted and staged, and one pretended to be like the hometown team, and they have like the bad guy wins by some dirty trick, but then his like thing breaks down at the end, and then he like jumps over him at the end. It was scripted ATV race. It was
that actually sounds
amazing.
Fun.
I know. I hope I didn't like make it sound bad because it was amazing, and I will not besmirch its good name. And
what's that restaurant where you go and watch jousting?
Medieval Times.
That's what it reminds me of. But with ATVs doing jumps and shit. That sounds awesome.
Dude, jousting is fucking crazy, bro. Like,
on that note.
If you actually
now, how about a smooch, huh?
You act.
All right, sorry, I'm behind on my producing.
Yeah, no, the monster truck thing, it is just wrestling and medieval times, but for cars. And I love medieval times.
During the tractor pulls, someone had me.
Jousting is fucking crazy.
Yeah, scripted jousting though. I want to see real jousting. I want to see actual Coliseum. Are there any lions at there? Probably not. All right, so big, beautiful black bill. Big, beautiful black bill. Big, beautiful. I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. So you guys sound like you're on Elon Musk's side, which is also the side of Rand Paul and Thomas Massey. Are you guys on the this is too much spending?
Yes.
This is increasing?
I'm on the side of why does this all need to be passed in a huge cart of papers? Why can't we split it all up into smaller issues?
So yes. I totally agree with Rand Paul, where it's like we're spending ourselves into fucking oblivion. Just stop it.
All the bills that they pass should be single issue. This omnibus bullshit needs to stop.
Yeah. The reason why they don't do single issue is because someone wants something totally insane and they can't get it passed unless it's in an omnibus wheeled out on a freaking heavy duty Harbor Freight cart.
You're exactly right.
The fucking psychopaths have taken over the asylum, and we're just watching them run away with our money.
There's probably some good stuff in there, but I doubt that it's all good.
Here we go. Let's get into that. Dig a little deeper. My boy, Stephen Miller. All things policy and how government works and whatnot. I am just going. Stephen Miller is in charge of thinking for me. If he says something, as far as I'm concerned, that's true. That this dude is the wonk of all wonks. Doge cuts are to discretionary spending, e.g., the federal bureaucracy. Under Senate budget rules, you cannot cut discretionary spending, only mandatory, in a reconciliation bill. So the problem is they have to do reconciliation because they don't have enough votes. And then also it's the other problem is that it's the like continued resolution crap. It's not even the actual like budget or an actual like omnibus bill. It's this continued resolution. All this having to hike the debt ceiling up. They don't do budgets anymore. They just keep doing this, kicking the can down the road. And there's different rules about what you can do with this and compared to other bills. So that's one of the problems amongst many. Hayden?
So for anybody who doesn't know, continuing resolutions are basically whenever Congress comes together, and Congress is the one who controls the purse, controls the money spending, right? So a continuing resolution is where they basically say, okay, we spent this much over the last year. We're not going to balance the budget yet. We're going to sign this continuing resolution and add in this much more money to be able to continue.
And we're going to raise the debt
because we already hit our limit for last year. We're going to raise it a little bit to give it a buffer zone. And then they continue to spend more and more money and always spend more. They're not raising the debt ceiling. They are just continuing the resolution. Like
I just looked up Stephen Miller. So he puts this out: the most significant border security and deportation effort in history, the Trump tax cuts, and the largest welfare reform in history, cutting almost $2 trillion. Like these are some pretty good things.
Oh yeah, and, I know. We've got.
Kind of sucks.
I have many more tabs.
Yeah.
So all right, let's get back. Yeah, here, let's get back into them. So Doge cuts would have to be done through what is known as a rescissions package or an appropriations bill. The Big Beautiful Bill is not an annual budget bill and does not fund the departments of government. It does not finance our agencies or federal programs. Instead, it includes the largest welfare reform in American history, along with the largest tax cut and reform in American history and the most aggressive energy exploration in American history, which ABF basically just pulled up the receipts for all this, and the strongest border bill in American history, all while reducing the deficit. Wait, reduce the deficit? That doesn't make any sense. I see some self-described libertarian side with the lefty bureaucrats at the CBO. This is the problem, is the CBO, they tell you that the tax cuts, you're losing money, but the tax cut stimulates the government, and just like the first time he cut taxes, you end up getting more tax revenue. Tax revenue is not, and never has been, or will ever be, the problem. We get trillions of dollars in tax revenue. The problem is the outrageous spending and the grifting, and the CBO wants to go along with the lie that cutting taxes is somehow like stealing money from the government, when really it's just preventing the government from stealing our money, which then actually ends up getting the government more money because our economy improves and everyone has more money.
What you're saying, what people don't understand is that when you cut taxes, that's less money being taken away from the people that produce the GDP. They make it bigger.
Well, keep in mind how
great jobs.
Every dollar you spend, right? You have a sales tax, you have a luxury tax, you have a state tax, you have a federal tax. You're taxed so much on every dollar that I think the last time the math was done, for every dollar, depending on what state you're in, with all the taxes you pay, you're actually only paying about 40 cents for every $1 you spend. That's how overtaxed we are.
Yep.
And then
that's why prices go up.
You go to the gas pump and there's a gas tax. It's like, well, I was already taxed on my wages.
Yep.
Well, fuck you. Here's a gas tax.
Yeah, you're getting taxed on everything being taxed.
Like I said, for every dollar you spend, you are actually spending like 40 cents, and the government is stealing 60 cents of it.
Yeah. So OMB Director Russ Vought is pushing back on claims that the BBB will increase the budget deficit and national debt. This bill doesn't increase the deficit or hurt the debt. In fact, it lowers it by $1.4 trillion. This is a $1.4 trillion over 10 years deficit reduction, 1.6 of which is in mandatory savings. Obviously, we have a little bit of spending in there as well for border and defense, but that's the biggest mandatory savings package that we have seen since the 1970s to 1997. CBO. And the CBO is a whole load of bullshit and they lie, and then the other people who do that sort of budgeting thing is the OMB. So the other side of that CBO, this guy in charge of it, is saying, nah, fuck that. This is actually going to reduce the debt. So now, does the BBB sound a little bit better?
No,
it sounds better, but it's still, I wish that they would dissect it and maybe vote on. So
I feel like you know what this is. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. So I take it it's the eve of his... We don't call it a rampage. What do you call it?
Every day is worth celebrating for Marvin Heemeyer, okay?
Yes.
The man just wanted to run his muffler shop in Gransby, Colorado.
And they
I
killed
understand. I understand. All right. This hurts. This hurts. USA budget deficit. And this is Elon pointing this one out. Yeah. 2000, 236 bill. 2001, 128, 158, 378, 413, 3, and then we're down to like 161 in 2007.
Trillion.
Then we have the financial crash. And that's so weird. We have the financial crash and it jumps way up, and then you get the bailouts and the bailouts and the bailouts and the worst recovery from a recession ever on purpose, thanks to Obama. And this is when
recovery from a recession.
this was when I graduated, and then this is when they decided to destroy the global economy, absolutely dooming my generation and saying, "Hey, we're going to import lots of people to make sure you can't buy a home."
I want to see 2020.
Then, yeah,
984 to 3.13 trillion in one fucking year.
This is my problem with like big beautiful bills. Is Trump, when he signed his first omnibus bill, he said, "I'm never signing one of these again," and then he signed the rest. And this doesn't even count the like $4 trillion that they printed out of thin air.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, China's just looking at us like,
this.
You stupid fucking.
So they have their own problems, actually.
Oh, yeah, because they propped up their
every country did the same thing that we did. They printed off tons of money so that they didn't go broke, because you had to copy all the other countries. Yeah,
they all followed our lead. As soon as we started doing it and trying to bail all of the common people out of all the issues that they were having, printing money out of thin air destroys your fucking economy.
So China is a paper dragon, all right? And there's two reasons for that.
Okay, make it quick.
They're propped up.
Can we do one reason?
Fake ass housing, and then they're also propped up by people that are supposedly going to fight for them, which they're not. But all right, go ahead.
I think they will. A lot of the Chinese, everyone's always like, "Oh, not the Chinese people. They're great. It's just the government we hate." I don't think they realize how brainwashed Chinese people are.
No.
There's enough of them that are willing to fight.
If you don't do what they say, your helmet will actually blow up your head.
That is
I'm not
many concerns.
I'm not joking. They have a fucking little time bomb. Like, all
right, calm down there, Alex.
All right, CNN's data guy. So Trump's been doing all of this terrorists and all this stuff. They have done everything to try to attack the stock market and say that we're going into a recession and stuff like that. Which did I skip over? I think not. We'll be talking are we going to recession? The betting odds aren't looking good. All right, so Republicans have double-digit lead on the economy over Democrats. So Trump did push all this stuff through. The Democrats went hard to try to say he's, a horrible, evil monster doing his illegal tariffs and whatnot. Yeah, people actually prefer it. So their propaganda not working. One problem though.
I was gonna say the betting market. It was 71% showing that there is going to be a recession, and then the last couple of days, it dropped to like 30-something%.
But it's okay. They hired a fat white woman to talk to men about how Democrats should be speaking to men. So they're going to make a comeback.
Talk about Janet Yellen.
Did I get it?
No.
I don't do. Yeah, here we go. Dems look to create new think tank to get away from woke identity politics. They will every one of them will be hunted down, doxxed, canceled, and attacked for trying to do that. All right. So here's the problem. Everyone hates the Democrats, but people are stupid and don't know how politics work. And so they just say, "Well, I'm not happy. I'm going to vote for the people not in charge right now." And we have people on the ground like Scott Pressler, a warning to Republicans. I'm on the ground every single day talking to voters. If Republicans don't get their act together to codify President Trump's agenda, Doge, no tax on Social Security, which is not part of the BBB, by the way, even though Trump keeps saying it is not. There's like you can get a higher tax deduction at least. So there's some help for Social Security people, but they're not doing this. You will lose the midterm elections. I say this peacefully and professionally. And I think that is the real problem people are having with the BBB is we don't trust the Republicans to do this in the future. But apparently the Doge bill is like the next big thing coming up. So we do have a Doge bill to actually codify some Doge. So this is a little bit of test in the water, but the Doge bill, that's when we'll know if the Republicans are actually serious. And a lot of these seems to be out of fear that they're not going to be serious.
So we have multiple problems that we have to face, right? So one problem is just we're in office right now, so we don't have to like vote and shit. And that's what you saw what happened in Wisconsin, right?
It happens every midterm.
Yeah, every midterm. And then the second problem is people are energized to vote for Trump, but they're not energized to vote for a fucking rhino. Right?
Well, no, and it's not just
there's rhinos everywhere. There's rhinos.
It's not just that. It's that people don't pay attention to politics and people are stupid. That's the real issue here, because what it is that the parties are so divided. The Republicans and the Democrats are divided.
But it doesn't help. It doesn't help being a rhino, though. It doesn't help by being a rhino.
A rhino should be a death sentence. All right, like we shouldn't even have to talk about that. But like the only argument is: are they the Republicans in name only, or are we the Republicans in name only? Because I disagree with half of their fucking platform, but I like whenever they start to move in the freer direction and start to release the control. Because remember, the people who had control and caused us a shit ton of problems in the early 90s was the Republicans.
Well, Scott Pressler has his finger on the pulse better than anybody, right?
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
And, there are two parties. There's also a third one, but no one ever talks about them because they're losers. The Libertarian Party. That's what we are, kind of, right?
Yep.
And we can be losers by advocating all these things, but we need to also be realistic in some of the things that we advocate for. So,
if the Libertarian Party were to dissolve, and throw their support behind the Republican Party, would be the best, if not only good thing the Libertarian Party ever did, would be disbanding. And I would.
The problem is that we still have to edge out, like, I'd say maybe at most a quarter of the Republican Party and make them the fringes, because that's what they really are. Well, they are pro super control of everything.
That's why we all kind of fit under conservative banner, and then you get
it's a big umbrella
conservatives, the normie cons, the neo cons, and stuff like that.
America first is what we are.
It's basically it's gatekeeping,
not the Nick Fuentes version,
and then gatekeeping, and then self-policing. So that when the Nick Fuentes we go, yeah, we're not with that idiot, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
so,
we just don't like the uniparty. The uniparty is what's been fucking everything up.
And that's a lot of the problem.
But if we get off butts like Scott Pressler, we can take over that Republican Party and we will win, and then the uniparty loses, which is why they're trying to start World War III. Why are you saying, ABF?
What Scott Pressler is telling us is if we don't get some of this stuff passed, the Democratic Party is going to shove it in our face in every single ad, and they're going to try to regain the House by saying the Republicans don't do anything.
Well, it's going to be, I think, it's less of that, and the voter enthusiasm for Republicans is going to be low. It's not, I don't think it's that the Democrats are going to own us. It's that people are going to say, these do-nothing Republicans, why would I get up off my butt and vote for them? I respect, this is the first, real actual comment. I respect your effort, Scott, but I'm a Pennsylvania MAGA Trump supporter to the core. However, that absolutely does not mean I support Republicans. I'm sick and tired of all these do-nothing Republicans. I'm done supporting them.
Yep.
That is going to be the issue for the Republicans in the midterms if they don't follow through. All right, get the BBB knocked out. That Doge, that's going to be the real test if they're actually serious about this.
And it's a problem when you're talking about midterms and Trump is not on the ballot. He's not on the ticket.
That's the problem of every midterm, and that's why the opposition party usually wins. The Democrats, we'll be discussing it in a bit, are in the absolute toilet. It's the Republicans to lose, and I think we are all waiting for them to be running for that touchdown and just fumble the ball.
To lose the midterms is actually losing to a fucking retard.
No,
we need to keep trying to flush them down the toilet. We can't stop at any.
What we need is some superstars in the House, in the Senate, to come up and back the MAGA agenda and back no, we are going to make this country great again. We are going to fix all of the problems that we have. We need superstars to show up in all of these different congressional districts, and that's the only way that we will have a midterm show.
It's get up off your butt. It's the whole Tea Party situation, and that's the problem. Is people?
If I was Trump, I would sick the dogs on them, like the vice president.
But sadly, he gets a lot of. He gets a lot of his advice from terrible people. That's why he ends up picking a lot of iffy candidates, because he doesn't actually do the picking. He has people tell him, and just he's definitely got better people around him. But with his tough talk with Putin and whatnot, when he had no idea what was actually going on, he's still getting all that stuff filtered, sadly. All right, so They went after the stock market, told us recession, recession, recession. People don't believe it anymore. Here's the next thing to look at. Japan's bond sell-off is a warning to the world. So,
oh my God, yeah.
The dollar goes far. The dollar goes far in Japan. And that's one of the reasons is just like how we decided to do 0% interest. We thought that would be a good idea. And we got our massive inflation, our multi-trillion-dollar deficits and what have you. Well, Japan has been doing the 0% interest, and there's like the 0 yen trade or whatever. So basically, a bunch of people can just get free money if you do it through the yen, and then you just spend that on, like stuff in Europe or whatever.
Japan has been in a debt spiral for over 10 years, and they don't have a way out.
What was it, the 90s or whatever? They had a huge economic crash that really destroyed so many towns. It destroyed them.
Then the United States came in and saved them, and that was part of what made our relations so great. And then they continued to make bad political decisions, and it sent them into a spiral of printing money and putting it in circulation and devaluing their currency.
That sounds familiar.
Correct. And you can only do it for so long until you finally have to raise the interest rates. But then once you do that, then people flee the bond market, and that is what we're going to have to be looking out for. The attack on the stock market didn't work. The whole Moody's ratings downgrade is connected to this. Trump trying to get Powell to cut interest rates because otherwise we're going to have problems in our bond market as well.
That Powell motherfucker is a piece of shit.
Excellent. So the bond market, the problem with that is governments have lots of bonds and then corporations, but the biggest problem is banks. So we start having problems in bond markets, then you have banks start collapsing. And once that happens, then that becomes a spiral, and that's how you get like a 2008 situation. Yep. So you're probably going to be hearing some stuff about some bonds this summer. If they can't get their World War III, they're going to definitely be trying to crash something. They're going for some sort of crisis this summer, and we are in the beginning of it.
Absolutely. They need to kill Trump's presidency. They need to have something to say that he's responsible for it. And we're at the perfect time for that to happen because the housing market is about to crash. They just extended the COVID relief payments that they were doing starting in 2020. They were giving people payments to take care of their mortgage on their houses. And then that was supposed to end in April of this year, and they extended it until September of this year, back in March. Housing market crashes. We're looking at potential stock market crashes. That one's not as
bond
likely.
Markets.
Bond market crashes.
What is this thing about a government program? Like nothing never ends like a government program.
So I will say 401ks aren't looking good, but my silver is currently worth double its value from when I made my first purchase of silver. So
gold as well.
Gold, it's hovering around like 3,400 currently. So like 34 hovering for silver currently. All right. My favorite subject. The collapse of the Democrat Party. It is literally the Republicans to lose.
The only thing that makes me sleep nice at night.
If they just do what they should and what we voted for, the Democrat Party will cease to exist after a few more elections. It's just beautiful having to watch CNN talk about it. Just 16% see Democrats as party of strong leaders. They hate them. They hate them. I love it. All right, so it's 30% said Democrats. Oh wait, what? Only 6% said they have strong leaders. Only 19% said they get things done. So is under 20% support essentially for the leadership of the Democrats. 30% said Democrats are the party of extremism, and only 25% labeled them the party of change. They're not looking good. Dems look to create a new think tank to get away from woke identity politics, just like how they want to connect with men. Their whole, how do we connect with people? Let's do think tanks. You already failed. CNN polls show Democrat dumpster fires GOP gains with middle class. Was this ABF? I think you sent me this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
For decades, polls showed Dems had a double-digit edge on the party who looked out for / was the party of the middle class. This is a lot of the whole lies about they're the party of the worker because they care about unions. That whole nonsense no longer works. And this comes as the GOP maintains a around 10-point lead on the economy after 4 months of Trump and going like pretty hard. So that's not looking too good. CNN is absolutely losing their mind. In fact, the majority of Democrats believe their party has weak leadership, 68%, and gets nothing done. Oh yeah, it looks like it was actually the same thing we just talked about.
Can I interject real quick?
Interject away.
Basically,
there we go.
You're saying that 30% of Democrats think that the party is too extreme. Is that the?
That was what it said. Yeah.
So does that mean that 70% thinks that's not too extreme?
No.
I don't know if that was just Democrats part of that one as well.
Yeah, we don't know what the polling data was on that and who they actually polled, but
there's usually like 4 questions involved, you know.
Yeah.
So there's like some lesser extreme ones in there that make up that percentage. But I just want to point out for this, it being tied is a huge deal because whenever something's tied, that means it's still leaning towards Republican. So if this went into the ballot box right now, the Republicans would win.
Yeah, this is a NBC/CNN poll. So yeah,
well, keep in mind that all of those double digits,
plus minus 5 points. That's a huge plus minus.
Well, and all of those double digits for the Democrats, they're actually trending down toward single digits. Like that we're getting closer and closer to single digits and further from double digits. Like they're still in the double digits, but they're what would be considered very low double digits at 16 and 19%.
So even though Republicans are at their lowest low of the low, where we have to be not necessarily satisfied, but at least happy that our competition is worse.
Oh, ABF. I put a clip in the private chat. I actually have a great example of how worse our competition is. Eric Swalwell, known Chinese agent. Rolled the clip.
No, he just fucks.
Sorry, asset of known Chinese agents.
Hey, Congressman. Can I help you? What the fuck is up with Trump always chickening out on tariffs?
He said fuck. Taco. Trump always chickens out. Taco.
That taco looks soggy as shit.
It's also Taco Bell and gross.
He had an intern buy it 5 hours ago, probably.
Yeah.
He's gonna start choking on it.
That's what happens when you order.
Wait, is he
food.
Anything else? Nope. That's it.
They should. They should have had Pete Buttigieg do it, and he would have just taken the taco and go. All gone. No chewing needed.
If they were actually going to make a commercial like that, it should have been a taco salad.
Well,
Hayden, your
video
is
he swallows an Asian taco like nobody else.
What? Hayden, fuck, Magnum. Your video's at like 360p and your audio is at like 144p currently. Heads up. All right. Okay, so, and Eric Swalwell.
I was just wondering when he was going to fart during that after having Taco Bell.
Yeah. Man. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
He was like, steal an election. Isn't that how it went?
He like 3-bited up in Taco Bell taco. Yeah, he's going to be regretting that later for sure.
I only eat sideways taco. Funny. Sideways taco, my shit.
Yes.
Hey, pal.
Democrat councilwoman incites mob, assaults cops, destructs. Oh, we already talked about this, right? Nope, we got a new one.
Oh, great.
Yeah. This one is even more ridiculous because who were they arresting? Oh, just an illegal who had apparently beaten up this woman's 16-year-old pregnant daughter, I believe. Am I remembering this correctly? Oh, let's see. Yes. Oh, wait, actually, I need you guys to pronounce a name. Oh, wait, no, I need the full name. Oh, where's it at? Yeah, all right. Let's see if I can get this a little bit bigger. All right.
Etel Hoxihaz.
Magnum, you want to try?
Etel, get the fuck out of my country.
ABF, would you like to give it a try?
Hasyaj!
That's actually... You forgot that part, but... Oh, wait, no, I think she's Hispanic, so you need to do a in there somewhere.
Oh, I can't roll my R's. I can't pronounce it then.
I
don't know why I can't roll my R's. I've never been able to.
You're like practically in Mexico and you can't roll your R?
Nope, but I eat the Mexican food. I love it. It hasn't given me the genetics to roll my R's.
Can you whistle?
Loves him some
I can
Mexican
whistle.
taco.
Okay, because I can't whistle, so I guess I won't judge you too harshly. Can you? Yeah, the people who can't roll their tongue, I say we just throw them in the can. Wait. So, all right. So let me get back to this absolute insanity. All right. Plus, it was 25 unruly demonstrators attempted to interfere with the arrest of 40-year-old Brazilian national Rosana Ferreira de la Vieira, who authorities refer to as a violent criminal illegal alien reportedly accused of assaulting her pregnant 16-year-old
what the fuck
daughter. So the Latino has the pregnant 16-year-old daughter, and the 40-year-old was assaulting her pregnant daughter, and for that she assaulted police officers.
Why is this my problem? Why is this my problem?
And so someone else was actually, her daughter handed off a baby to someone before running after and kicking a police vehicle with her mother inside.
What? Everyone's going to jail.
Yeah.
Deporte. And then she was, Haxiacha, who was a Democrat council member, was then seen interfering as she put her finger in an officer's face before turning to the 16-year-old screaming, "Let her go! She do not touch her!" And then the problem was, then she started putting her hands on police and ICE officers. She started essentially assaulting police officers.
But she's also a national of what country? And she's a Democratic councilwoman. Why is that fucking legal?
Fuck?
Why can you be a national of a different country?
She's my constituent, and you're hurting her.
That's her daughter. What are you talking about?
She's done nothing. Mm-hmm. And then officer then addressed her as counselor and warned her to back away. Can you back away and get your hands off of us? So yeah, literally got a mob of people and then started putting her hands on police officers, and they just let her do it because she's a Deporte. All right, so let's look at my favorite member of the Democrat Party for now, David Hogg.
Oh my God, I haven't seen this. Hogg.
Oh, have you not?
I have not seen this at all.
Oh, I assumed you guys would have. Okay, so I assume he's on a gay date. You know, that's what most of them are for Project Veritas, and it's David Hogg. So
gay.
Yeah, one can only assume it's a gate. And yes, also sorry, I'm the worst. I'm the absolute worst producer. I love you all. David Hogg, vice chair, current and soon to be former vice chair, Democrat National Committee. I mean, she gets better returns in almost every hedge fund in this city every year. Who do you think she's talking about?
Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi. I would say Pelosi's actually very good at her job. I don't agree with the stock trading stuff. Some of these members of Congress make trades that are too well timed to not have insider knowledge. So he's just calling out the Democrats for insider trading.
That's crazy.
Is this
some of the best financial analysts in human history?
by what's his name again? No, my bad.
So why does he not want to? This is Project Veritas, so I don't think it's James O'Keefe if that's what you mean. So have you spoken against that? Oh no, he didn't. And why? Because, well, he wants to get gun control. So he's like, you guys just be totally corrupt because it's more important to me to bring up the thing I care about, stealing everyone's guns. So I have to pick my battles. ABF, you have any words for David Hogg?
Oh, I'm just looking at that sign right behind his head. It says something fruits, and that's so fitting for him. No, to the left. If you back it up one frame before that waiter. Yep.
Just
juicy fruit.
And then he's got
what a queer.
Well, do you see what this is? I think it's a razor blade on the other side.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But no, this dude, he wants gun control passed. It's not going to happen.
The hardest part of his job is, I just want to burn everything down because it's like so corrupt.
So what's funny as fuck is like I found out that this dude wasn't even at the shooting.
He wasn't. No, he went home and then he ran back there.
Yes. Yeah.
He wasn't even there. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he
that.
went to school, saw everybody traumatized, and decided that he was the most traumatized out of all of them, and he's the spokesperson.
I'm gonna take all your rights away because of blah blah blah.
And no, he's a neo-Marxist, is what he is. He will jump on any opportunity to further his agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to pick your battles. All right, get them out of here, and then that's it, right? No more. He managed to shut up and not say anything else stupid, right? Right? No, they asked him who was actually running Joe Biden.
Yeah, this is the best part.
Let's see. All right, so many people knew, or few people knew about Biden. I mean, I think you would. Yeah, President. I mean, I think the fact of the matter is the DNC is always going to be a campaign arm of the president ultimately. Which, well, yeah, obviously. The bigger issue is like the inner circle that was around Biden. That's it. I can't stress to you enough, like Jill Biden's chief of staff had an enormous amount of power. And I believe he is one of the ones being interviewed about the auto pen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but that guy's a scum fuck that's been in the government.
And what they're going to do is they're going to uncover a bunch of shit and they're going to do nothing.
And that was an open secret. I would avoid him. He was scary. I assume most men are scary to David Hogg, but yeah, Anthony Bernal.
Anthony Bernal, that's it. Bernal.
I've never seen him.
I have.
Exactly. He's just a shadowy Wizard of Oz type figure. That's what made him so. I knew he looked, but the general public wouldn't know how this man looked. But he wielded an enormous amount of power, and I can't stress you how much power he had at the White House. I don't think David Hogg's going to be in Democrat politics for too much longer after this one.
I wish he would stay longer, to be honest. He keeps doing a lot of damage.
Yeah,
he keeps seeing base. He came out for meritocracy too because they kicked him out for not being a woman.
James Carville literally destroyed his entire career. He was just like, "Who the fuck is this motherfucker? I'm from Louisiana."
Yes, it just ended, and I was like, "Where's the next episode?" And it wasn't there, but I'm seeing the movie this Friday. All right, B-Man.
I think I'll
talk more about it Thursday
too.
Why?
My girlfriend wants to see it, and now I've finished season 1.
Poor guy has to go see anime at the movie theater with his girlfriend.
Hey,
I hope you survive.
Everybody needs to watch Mobland.
Okay, back to our political stream, guys, please. B-Man, I blame you for that distraction. All right. Carolyn Leavitt confirms the Trump DOJ is investigating the auto pen scandal under Biden. Department of Justice is looking into it. Ed Martin made an announcement at the Department of Justice to launch an investigation. American people deserve answers. So as I've mentioned, auto pen. All right, great. Yeah, all the Q-tards will be talking about forever. Yeah, auto pen. I think something might come out of this auto pen. ABF?
I think so too. It turns out people just didn't know. And now that it's getting out there, everyone's like, wait, if you're going to be signing an executive order, maybe they should be actually signing that piece of paper. So
is it going to be, when you say something's going to come out of it, is it going to be public opinion or is it going to be actual prosecution?
Both. Well, not prosecution, but I think a change will come from the
like it may be
general
illegal
sentiment.
To use auto pen from there on. Like you're not able to do it unless
anything getting
you're
voided.
sending a letter.
We can avoid some of those pardons he gave to random criminals.
That's
who paid
the problem.
Them?
I
if
don't
they can
know
show
if
that
they
were paid. I know, because you're still pardon whoever. What if you take a bribe to pardon them? Does that not depardonize them?
What it would do is it would set a precedent that you're not able to have a pardon, but I don't know if they could roll back the pardons that were already granted.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm all for fixing shit and just having a good focus on the future, but there's a lot of motherfuckers that need to go to jail.
Funny that you would mention that. Our last tab of the evening. Hunter Biden's favorite crack whore, if we want to be specific, charged with manslaughter? What? Not the B. What a headline. So, if you all remember from the laptop, I think I deleted it. I don't think I have the clip anymore. But I did have the clip of Hunter Biden weighing crack out with a crack whore.
I think that's all burned into our memories.
And And the media was just like, yeah, no, it's cool. Stop attacking him for his addiction.
Yeah, apparently it just happened. I didn't
crack
really have to even watch the,
the chamber.
I just kind of knew.
Well, and then finding it in the entrance, and the FBI reopening the investigation into that. Don't forget about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, at the White House.
So yeah, well, that's one of the things Dan Bongino will be looking into is the coke parties at the White House. So the actual story is that crack whore like smuggled some heroin and then someone died, and so she is getting in trouble for manslaughter. So you can literally put the Hunter Biden's favorite crack whore charged with manslaughter.
Yeah, that's why
headline.
That's why there's heavier penalties for dealing, because you're the last person that touched it that led to a death. So I agree with it.
Yeah, certainly when it involves heroin, that fentanyl. Yeah, I'm pretty supportive of Bukele's efforts and what was that Singapore president? That dude was extra crazy. I'm not saying we should publicly cane it. Wait.
Yeah,
No, actually, I am saying we should do public caning. And then, if that's popular, if it gets enough TV ratings, then maybe we can move to the public hangings. But let's start with the public flogging. Are you guys okay with that? Are we ready? Is the Overton window ready for public floggings?
If I see too many crack whores on the street, then it's just kind of like we have a problem here.
I think we should do real life death races. Have machine guns on cars, and they have to compete to survive.
Like Twisted Metal.
Oh, make it like Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
I've been saying
I love that game.
I've been saying do a Squid Game with the illegals and stuff, but you have changed my mind.
It'll be more expensive, but I'm actually willing to pay.
I will
my
pay.
tax dollars pay for.
We're already dealing with it, so let's just fucking do it. Let's get over with. Let's go.
Get sponsors like NASCAR's on the death races. All the you can sponsor a felon and stuff like that.
Yeah,
to get your logo.
What would be some good sponsors on one of those cars? Pfizer. Put Pfizer on some of those cars.
Pfizer would be great.
Oh, dude, get him jacked up.
They would be an
on
arena
fucking,
sponsor
on fucking pharma. Just get him
Brought to you
jacked up.
Brought to you by the Home Depot Death Machine.
Yeah, brought to you by C4 Energy Drinks.
I'm liking this. And then
I might sponsor one of them myself. Fuck it.
Dude, this is exactly us thinking like Romans and wanting to have something distract us. That's fun.
Yeah. Well,
and also
the Romans
the death.
figured out that we didn't figure out is that there are certain undesirable people that you just have to get rid of.
Right. We got rid of the undesirable people.
that was what the Romans did. They
put them in the
Yeah, put them backstage. I totally agree with you, Magnum.
The second session of most Colosseum battles was whenever they would take people who were sentenced to death and make them fight.
Mm-hmm.
That was before the intermission at lunchtime. So, you take the people that are sentenced to death and you just make them fight for entertainment.
Wait, are we ready for an American Gladiator revival?
Only if they actually die.
Yeah, give them all the same gear, but no padding involved.
Oh, yes. Okay. Wait, I like the death race angle, but we can't just do death races. We should have some other events and whatnot. And I think American Gladiator style competition. Oh, is that the one where they shot the tennis balls out of the gun while they ran?
That was my favorite. It was so good. Oh yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah, except they're not tennis balls this time.
They think about the where they have the what was it called? The wicked wall or whatever that they had to walk by, that other people were on the other side of the wall pushing the big punching bags to try to knock them off of the wall. Imagine if that exploded.
Greystone has a good point here. Greystone has a good point here. We should also increase our bioengineering while we're doing it. So it's basically a biological test, so we can increase our capabilities with biological warfare.
Yes, thank you, Joseph Mengele Norse. Jesus Christ!
Don't talk about this shit
Escape
that.
from New York. Let's go. Escape from New York.
Oh, did you guys hear about those Chinese nationalists that got caught smuggling a essentially a bioweapon into the United States.
Something that would like attack the food supply.
Yeah, so
it's
it
like
would
mold or something like that.
Yeah, it's a mold that would kill the heads of grains and corn. And then if it is consumed by an animal, right? So like for those of you who don't know, one of our main feeds for cattle is corn in the United States. And if they ate that infected corn, it would cause them to have problems and infect the meat as well.
Basically like The Last of Us.
Did they base this on a Stephen King novel? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, two Chinese nationalists smuggled it into the United States to quote unquote study it at the universities that they were employed at.
Thoughts on banning the Chinese from going to our universities?
100%.
Unless they're like American citizens.
Yeah, no,
I think that's reasonable.
These specific people also expressed loyalty to the Chinese Communist Party.
If they don't, then they get beheaded.
Yeah, you have to. Every single one of them is inherently a spy.
So any person from China is automatically a spy because the CCP won't allow otherwise.
We can get to the American citizens and banning them, but let's start with the actual foreign Chinese exchange.
They won't allow otherwise. They won't allow.
I used to work with several Chinese nationals. Ironically enough, I worked in a Japanese steakhouse, and everyone who worked there, besides like me and two other people, were Chinese nationals, including the owner. He was a Chinese national that was trained in like making sushi and Japanese food and stuff like that. And he was a really cool guy. But there were a couple of the waiters. Like I got along great with all of the waitresses.
Where is this going?
Well, so they would go on trips to China every couple of months.
Did they try to turn you? Did they do it successfully?
No.
Is that why you're
they would never say anything bad against China whenever I would bring up that China was bad.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Everyone's no, just the Chinese government, not the Chinese people. I'm telling you.
Well, no, they can get in trouble with the Chinese government even though they're not in China. That's why they do that. They train themselves to talk like they're on YouTube all the time, but with the Chinese Communist Party.
Dude, they would get their head cut off. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Speaking of. We'll shoot them before they can chop it off.
I can't help but think that one of the people that I worked with was one of the officers reporting back to the Chinese government.
Did you counter espionage him?
I tried to.
Everyone has AIDS. My grandma and my dog go blue. AIDS.
They're gonna infect our food supply with AIDS. I just know it, man. But so when we like to talk about the whole Ukraine situation, man, all of that is it's all for China. The only one who wins in all that is China. All of this is about like we in the West love going to war at the end of fourth turnings once everything starts turning to shit. I swear I did not kick Magnum. Did
I saw your hands up here? So
okay, I was gonna say I swear I did not kick him. I playfully removed him for sounding a little too Hitlerian. It was a playful removal. I don't know what just happened.
That was a hands up, don't shoot moment.
So we really love to go to war when everything turns to shit, and China is also in a similar situation where they would love an excuse to go ahead and invade Taiwan and go full nationalistic and what have you. And I think that's going to be really bad for America.
Give me the cash. Been here long?
Yeah, long enough. Come on, give me the cash.
That is China asking for its money back. And it's not going to go very well. And man, we have so many problems ahead of us. And I think we win in the end, but holy crap. I believe in our future the most when I see people get up off their butts. I think enough of us will get up off of our...
Who's it?
Damn.
I exited out of the wheel because I was like, there ain't no way we're hitting a wheel. We were at like $22 and now we're at $522. I am pulling out the wheel. We have 2 spins, but I think it's dead.
I think it broke. I think I probably broke.
I think it's dead. We'll do a wheel spin anyways. All right. Got me excited. And wait, present.
So China has a lot of problems that a lot of people are not even talking about, as far as like the housing collapse. You know what I mean?
And then voting. Yeah, they have a lot of things. Yes, channel under attack for sure. A lot of things broken. Time bandits, please, please, time bandits. All right, so I'm gonna do 2, and then chat's gonna get to vote. Time bandits, and then what else? Because man, I realize there's too many on here. I got to give you guys some options. What about Bob? Finally,
have you not seen What About Bob?
I have not seen What About Bob or Time Bandits.
Wow. Okay.
Bob.
I think I know which one's gonna win.
Wait, really? You think What About Bob is gonna win?
Yeah.
Okay. I was kind of wanting some Time Bandits because I want some Terry Gilliam in my life, but I'm also happy with some What About Bob.
I could
Bill
be wrong.
I need more Bill Murray in my life. And we can't forget, because they might start going through here later, so we got to make sure.
Be careful!
It just hits so nicely. I'm so hot. Why didn't I turn on a fan? Wait, we're currently at 50%. Oh no, what? Wait, no. Now we're back at 50%. Wow, we're
It's neck and neck.
Holy crap! Did you guys get your votes in?
I did.
I voted my one time with one account.
All right, excellent. It's 47-53. All right, you love to see it. All right, we still got like a few more minutes. Is there anything you guys want to talk about that does not involve any Egyptian men attacking people? Wait, no, Magnum. You were wanting to talk about France is currently fudged. Why don't you go and tell us your thoughts on France? And try not to get too Hitlerian.
Apparently, when you import the third world, you get third world problems.
Correct. Yes.
And same thing happened in Malmo, and I'm Swedish, so I kind of been following Sweden and all that shit, and they lead the world in grenade attacks, and it's just like, what the fuck? But what's
Grenades
funny
are
is
bad.
that the actual leader in the world of grenade attacks will never understand, because they're too retarded to actually even record them. But anyway, so what's happening is we're bringing in the third world to civilization, and civilization is crumbling.
Civilization go bye-bye. Yeah, so for those who don't pay attention to European politics, and I don't blame you, God, I had several things pulled up, and I said, we're not talking about Europe. So essentially, there was football, they call it, soccer riots. But what it really was a bunch of the migrants were already rioting, and then there was some football match, and then so other people started going out, but then they just used that as a cover-up of oh no, these are just football hooligans, but they were already out of control. And there are many videos, and back in my day we talked about how, I want to go to France and Paris someday before I die. Now if you go to Paris, you will die.
Unless you want to get raped to death.
They pretend like we haven't been watching France burn itself down for 200 fucking years.
Jesus.
Yeah, you can't say half of those words. Thank God I decided to talk over you.
Isn't time out again?
France has been burning itself down for 200 years, every 3 years. So, I mean, it's another day in France, to be honest.
Yeah, but unfortunately, UK is doing the same shit.
So say Poland went conservative, South Korea dirty commie just got into South Korea. So we all love Japan and Korea and whatnot because they weren't woke and they hadn't been totally destroyed by Glomo Homo yet. Bye, South Korea.
So part of me,
have a great time.
Part of me feels the same way as ABF feels, where it's kind of like, you guys are across the ocean. I don't give a fuck about you. But at the end of the day, at the same time, it's like it does matter what happens with the world. With the world, because eventually we actually have to fuck with these people.
Hey, Hayden, would you rather go to Dan in the theater or to France? Well, you're gonna see Dan then.
Magnum, my take on that is my apathy to help out other countries is that I feel like my support for their freedom has been going unnoticed. So I'm just gonna say, fuck you, and let them take care of it themselves.
Yeah,
and maybe they'll pick themselves up by their bootstraps.
They have to get up and do it themselves. They can't have us do it for them.
See, I care about Japan and South Korea immensely, and I kind of sit in the same boat. They've got to pull it together.
If I'm going to get my 27th spinoff of Solo Leveling, so we need South Korea to be successful so I can get my South Korean, so we can get our K-dramas, guys. I want Squid Game 7. I need it. So,
I need One Piece live action season 5. I need 5 seasons of that show.
It's Japanese, you racist. So South Korea, for those that don't remember.
Well, I know it's Japanese.
They're the ones where the president was like, the Democrat Party are working for the CCP, so I'm doing martial law. And then they got in and they unmartial lawed him, and then now they're arresting him, and
there was a military
bunch
coup.
Of leaders. Yeah, coup. And there's been 5 leaders or something.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny as hell because it was kind of goofy as fuck.
Well, no, the problem was that everyone was denying that there were actual communists in the government, and it turns out, there's actual communists in the government.
And it's a Hong Kong situation where it's like, we're not influencing anything, and then they take over, and then instantly, there's a bridge to China being built and stuff like that. It's
West Taiwan is actually a really terrible place, and Taiwan is they've still got a republic.
From what I hear, is South Korea is suffering from extreme feminism.
The birth rates are insane.
The women and the men are not fucking.
Well,
that's and in Japan as well.
Most Asian countries right now, actually.
They're the only ones worse than us in the West. Yeah, it's
but sex bots are through the roof.
Yes, it's going to destroy them. But maybe they can figure out a way to do receptacle, and then they check, and then
listen,
that's that Rick and Morty episode.
Gentlemen, you need to go to Asia and help repopulate. Trust me, it is not a bad choice.
Do your duty.
Considering it. All right. I think that's a good place to end it. I was going to end it on Hunter Biden's crack whore, but
that's
I think
very positive message.
I think we ended on repopulating Japan.
Pro-human, for sure.
Oh my God, Time Bandit's 48%. What about Bob 52%? I'll just keep it going until the very end. You guys can keep voting.
Oh, okay. 50 again.
It's back to 50-50. Jesus. Hayden.
Should have called it.
Hayden, where are you going to be at tomorrow, buddy?
So tomorrow, I'm going to be on Late and Gay with the GCA. But before that, I'm going to be on with ABF. And I just played the Hell Is Us demo. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Because I've got some thoughts on it. And then Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I am going to be on For the Homies for my first time hanging out with those guys. And it's going to be a good time.
Hell Is Us? What is this?
Hell Is Us. Like I said, I'll give my thoughts tomorrow. But
yes,
I played through the whole demo, about an hour long, and
interesting.
There's something there.
ABF, tell us about yourself.
Well,
long walks on the beach.
I like burritos. I like guns. Dogs are cool.
And where can we find you tomorrow?
Oh, okay. Tomorrow you can maybe find me on YouTube. If not, you can check out Twitter and find out all the new links of all these new places I've signed up with, because I realize having all of your eggs in one basket isn't a good idea, and you should diversify the portfolio. So
plus it makes number go up in the corner right here, and number go up feel good. So
let me tell you, I started off with like 50 followers. I call them followers over on Kick, and ended up with like 100 last night.
Wait,
that was
yeah.
fun. So,
you guys were like the most popular on the podcast section.
in the
or whatever,
podcasting
right?
section, because we decided to do that one because it was way smaller competition versus the just chatting. So
yeah, yeah.
It's being number one in something is more fun. So.
And it is a podcast, so I mean, why not?
Number feel good. Yeah, that's what it's all about. And the friends we meet along the way, but mostly number
I
go
have
up.
a link tree. I'll send it to you.
Oh my god.
And let's see the 199 army just following everybody around. You know, it's great. You know, fucking love it.
Like I said,
Magnum.
Asmund Gold and Tectone moved to Kick, and I started watching them. I've never watched them before because they were always on Twitch, and now I'm watching them on Kick. So
Oh yeah, I hate
Kick's a
Twitch.
spot.
Yeah, Asmongold. People are like, well, he was always kind of like, you know, lefty, but then he well, I don't know if I trust him or whatever. And it's like, well, he's kind of like Tim Pool in a lot of ways, in my opinion. But I don't want to go off on a tangent with that, but whatever.
Magnum, I was told you were going to be editing videos. How's that going?
Actually,
no, we'll talk about it after this. Wait, did they actually work? I thought you were having technical difficulties. Did you get past the technical difficulties?
Well, I haven't even tested those ones.
All right, more on that later.
Yeah,
Was there anything you wanted to plug? Follow Magnum on Twitter.
Yeah, you cocksuckers.
Absolute pleasure to have him here. Absolute pleasure to have you all here. I don't want to do a long one. Do we have to? How about we watch Sydney Sweeney instead? Oh, wait. Let's watch long Sydney Sweeney instead. Bye, everybody.